Literally the worst card game I've ever played. I'm immeasurably disgusted by the infinite combos that guarantee the win each and every time. They only guarantee the win because you're on a bad deck. Reading Metacritic user review of Master Duel. This shit's hilarious. Metacritic user reviews of Master Duel. User score 5.9. You mean to tell me the user score for on Metacritic for Master Duel is 5.99? It still has a lot to improve in terms of the ability to interact with the opponent to finish being a multiplayer. However, it's a fun-filled experience for any fan of the card game. 3 from Giovanni. First things first, I'm a beginner. I never played this game in any form before. Basically, I'm a complete noob, and my comment is a bit long, but it's just my honest opinion. Let's see how long. For me, there are 2 obvious problems in this game that popped real quick. 1, the mentality of the players. It is clear that many of them have nothing against those who play differently and remain fair play. However, the vast majority of comments I have read were at best disrespectful, at worst insulting to anyone who didn't play like them, be it users of old decks, new ones, or blockers. I'm not sure what they mean by this, but I mean, obviously, players that are ingrained in, like, you know, in playing Yu-Gi-Oh often will use, like, you know, different terms when describing, like, what he describes as blockers probably sounds to me as like a stun deck, you know what I mean? Or like floodgates and stuff. For me, a good game is a game that gives everyone a chance to play in their own way, to find a playstyle that suits them, not a game that seems to offer several archetypes to finally just impose one or two. This person has never played a card game before. I feel like it's very often, like, I feel like in any, not even just like a card game, it could be anything. Like, look at, like, if, say you're playing Overwatch, right? If you're in an Overwatch meta where Reaper is not good, you can't complain and be like, damn, I wish Reaper was good right now, but he's not. This game sucks because it's not letting me play with the hero that I want to play. Same thing for League of Legends. Like, are you molding because there's metas where Ahri is not good? I've never played League. Ahri's the only character I know. Do not ask me why. Balance issues in PvP games are everywhere, but this is the first time I see something like this, or at least feel this way. No, I feel like that's a common thing for any competitive game ever, not specifically this one. I don't care about winning or losing. What I want is to have fun while playing / learning something that is new to me. So now I have 3 choices. I stop, I build a floodgate deck since these meta decks really don't interest me, or I forfeit every time I end up playing against one of those decks, which seems a bit unrealistic since the vast majority is made of them. The worst thing is that feeling of copy-paste between my opponents. I swear I checked their names just to be sure it wasn't the same player. Well, I mean, in any game you're going to play, there is going to be an optimal way to play the game. 0 out of 10. Co-Money destroying their own game. This game turned into a lucky pay-to-win game. No strategy at all. Coin flip simulator. You going first, 85% of victory. The algorithm is TR4 so terrible that it trolls you. No kidding. That's why they have lost over 70% of players. Shame on you, Co-Money. Edit. Almost 1 year is the same terrible game. Now we have an FTK meta deck in the ranked games. We've had FTK meta decks since the release of the game. Okay, look at all these zeros. Oh, we're getting into the fucking thick of it, chat. We can do it like this. This probably works better. 0 out of 10. The game, digital or in paper, is frustrating and not fun. Fair? Basically, you need to go first and play a broken deck that you are supposed to copy card to card just to have a chance of winning. The days when we used to brew decks and have fun are long gone by the money-hungry machine of Konami. Okay, so you have to copy every deck card for card. And you will say that is a Yugi Boomer take. I give you a counter opinion. Goatformat.com. Let's look at decks. BLS, 2 Magician of Faith, DD Warrior Lady, Breaker, Tsukiyomi, Sangan, Pot of Greed, Graceful, Delinquent Duo. Seems about fine. Okay, let's look at another list. Let's look at oh, Chaos Control. Chaos Control is probably a good one. Let's look at Chaos Control. BLS, Breaker, DD Warrior Lady, Double Magician of Faith. Oh, Graceful? That's new. Pot? Oh, whoa, Delinquent Duo? Is it just me or is like all these decks like about 70% the same? It feels as though these decks from 2005 are about 60 to 70% the same. It's almost like if cards are good, they get played. And his name is Invoker Seth, so I wonder what he played. Opponent's turns takes a minimum of 10 minutes. Wrong. Every card after the original Duel Monsters is a complete shit. One of my opponents even activated first turn a card without tribute, with 0 attack and defense, but this card was not affected by any spell card, trap card, monster effect. If I attack this card, it cannot be destroyed by battle, and opponent never loses life points, regardless if this card has 0 attack and is in attack position. A Time Lord! Another effect of this card is if it attacks you, you lose always half your life points. LOL. What the fuck is this shit? Even now, I am so mad writing this LOL. Time Lords are broken, I agree. I definitely agree. Time Lords are breaking the game. If Konami is reading this, make an option to play against a computer, and you have an option to create a deck for the computer. Let's build my opponent a deck here. 3 of this, 3 of this, 3 of this. Oh, 2 of this. This is a little strong. 3 of this. 3 of this. 3 of this. 3 of this. 3 of that. Okay, let's give him some spells. Ooh, Twister. Twister's good. He can pop my back row. It'll be fair. Tweet some trap cards, but like they can't be good. Like they literally cannot be good trap cards. They have to be like mid, so I can play through them. Yeah, 1 Light Force Sword is like, this card's a little strong, but it's okay. I accept it. Ooh, yes. House of Adhesive Trap, 3 of. Seems good. Oh, Chris Javelin. He can gain some life points. Yeah, go ahead. That's my opponent's deck. And then he's like, bro, I'm so good. I beat the CPU every single time. Ooh, an 8 out of 10 review. Let's see what Mr. 8 out of 10 has to say. Overall, a very solid game on most fronts. It's an addictive strategy card game to waste a few hours on if you're bored. One of the only issues would be the number of no lives that use meta decks to get literally nothing in return. Other than that, though, it's fun and decently casually friendly, especially if you have friends playing with you. Some of my favorite moments from the card games have come from this game, but the community of sweats can be a bit challenging to deal with once you get past or even into silver. So he's saying once you get into silver, it's sweaty, is what he's saying. I mean, I don't disagree with that. I can assure you, there's a bunch of, like, sweats that are in gold. No, chat. You guys are laughing. There are a ton of people that are hard sweating in gold. I can assure you. 100%. You queue in gold right now, you are more likely to run into, like, a top-tier meta deck than you are to run into fucking Dark Magician Turbo. 0 out of 10. Pay to win. These decks are broken. Cards exist to negate everything, and you cannot counter them. That's why almost all players have the same cards. Not worth your time. Everything you said here makes sense. But this does not correlate to pay to win. Pay to win would be Sword Soul you couldn't pull out of packs using gems. Yo, hey, here's Sword Soul. 20 bucks, the deck's yours. The ranked are 30 minutes for waiting people who summon 20 card and do OTK in turn 2. And you can play only if you play a meta deck. Every single other deck are unplayable. I disagree. A lot of people that are newer to the game, they don't know what the meta decks are, and they will assume that any deck that beats them is meta. You have not lived until you play a rogue deck at locals, and you play against a guy that it's like his second locals, and he starts malding when you cook him with your rogue deck, and he goes, these fucking meta decks are bullshit. Start out pretty good. You get some starter decks from playing the solo mode, but as soon as you're in PvP duels, it's the usual pay-to-win bullshit I've come to expect from Yu-Gi-Oh! If you're not playing one of the meta decks with one-turn victories, you've already lost. There's no deck that has a one-turn victory. The only FTK deck at the time that was like common was Pendulum. We've got people playing multiple limited or forbidden cards, like they forgot to put restrictions in the game or players just modding. Okay, so that was a problem. There was an issue where some players found a way to like hack the game to bypass the card limitations. So they were playing shit like Dragoon in their deck and whatnot. It was really funny. It was stupid, but it was very funny. Literally the worst card game I've ever played. I'm immeasurably disgusted by the infinite combos that guarantee the win each and every time. They only guarantee the win because you're on a bad deck. Someone summoned a monster that can destroy anything you summon with its effect. Yes. Zodiac Trident is broken. I agree. 10 out of 10. This game has been an amazing experience for someone who hasn't touched Yu-Gi-Oh! For about 15 years. The solo mode did a good job introducing me to the new mechanics, on top of giving a nice background to some of the lore of a couple of the archetypes. The deck editor is pretty good, and the crafting system is easy to manage and very effective. The game so far has been very welcoming to free-to-play players. You can create at least one top meta deck for free, and to finish it all, the soundtrack is simply one of the best I've ever heard. It's not a perfect game, and it needs some refining, but it's the best experience I've had with Yu-Gi-Oh! Since the Forbidden Memories days. Easily earn at least an 8 out of 10, but I will give it a 10 since some people are hating around here, and I really like the game. I'm gonna keep it honest with you. Everything they said here is absolutely correct. I think the tutorial introduces you to all the summoning mechanics well. If you're a returning player from like ages ago, you will be brought up to speed. Maybe you won't 100% fully grasp everything, but you'll get a decent understanding of everything.